ਤੇ मैं क्या वीरो शास्त्रीय काल गुड आफ्टरनून अस्सलाम वालेकुम वालेकुम अस्सलाम। गाना गाना है, थोड़े 2 लाइनें गानी है, ठीक है जी। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं। सॉरी आई फॉरगेट, सो वी हैव टू स्टार्ट। आवर फर्स्ट टॉपिक इज सॉरी यार, फाइन, पोर्टफास्ट एंड guys try to understand what is portfast. Fine, actually on a switch we have first of all we can have 3 types of topology changes. How many types? One topology change is called direct, second is called indirect, third is called in. What is direct topology change? Direct topology change means a link is going down for a switch and the switch is having a block port. Link is going down for a switch and the switch is having a. Yesterday we have discussed the case. Where is your friend? Bunyaj. One, two, three. DP, RP, DP, RP, DP. Agree? What I am saying, when there will be direct topology change, that if this link goes down, for this switch link is going down and it is having a block port. Agree? How much time will it take to converge? 30 seconds. Agree? This is called direct topology change. What will happen when there will be a direct topology change? Try to understand the concern. Try to understand the concern. What will happen? By default, root bridge will be the switch who will always send. Who will always send? BPDUs. Who will always send? But look here, DP, DP block. Whenever this switch will, क्या बोलेंगे उस वर्ड को? यार कुछ बोलते हैं उसको। जैसे ही स्विच को पता चलेगा टोपोलॉजी चेंज हुआ, whenever this switch will get to know that there is a topology change, what it will do, it will send a TCN BPDU. What it will send? TCN BPDU. TCN stands for topology change notification. TCN stands for. Now he is sending this TCN BPDU to the root. Agree? Now it will send it to switch 2. Switch 2 will send it to switch 1. But switch 2 will give him a TC acknowledgement also. TCN acknowledgement that I have forwarded your TCN to the root bridge or to my other adjacent switch. Agree? Now what root bridge will do? Root bridge will mark now there is a TCN bit in the BPDU. Clear? Now it will mark the TCN bit or it will set the TCN bit in the BPDU to 1. When I am saying it is setting, it means it is changing the value to 1. By default it is. When in the BPDU TCN value is 0, it is called normal BPDU. It is called, or you can call it as configuration BPDU. You can call it as, but when TCN bit value is 1, it is called TCN BPDU. It is called, whenever switches in the topology will receive TCN BPDU, what they will do? They will change their MAC address table aging time, which is by default 300 seconds to 15 seconds. That within 15 seconds they will flush their MAC address table. Now there will be a question in your mind, why switches are flushing their MAC address table? Agree? Switches are flushing their MAC address table because there is a change in the topology. Try to understand this thing now, why they are doing so. Concept is clear? Now just think like here we have user X, Y, Z, P, Q, R, A, no, R, D, E, let's say F. By default, this port is not in use. Agree or not? It means for switch C, all these MAC addresses will be learned on which port? This port. Agree or not? किसको ये बात समझ में नहीं आई? Whenever they will send traffic, they will always use which link? This link. Switch C will learn source MAC address on which port? This port. This thing is clear? Now, for all the users connected here, switch A will learn MAC address on which port? This port. Agree? Any problem? Now, what I am saying, this link goes down. This link goes, this guy will generate a TCN. In this case, what will happen? Root bridge already knows that there is a change. So, root bridge will directly send a topology change notification BPDU. He will receive it. He will receive it. What they will do? They will change their MAC address table aging time from 300 seconds to 300 seconds to. First thing, why they are not deleting their MAC address table at the same time? For what? For STP to converge. भाई वो wait करेंगे. They will wait for STP to. See, this link will come up after 30 seconds. If at the same time switches will flush their MAC address table, all switches will start broadcasting. Agree or not? This particular case will be called unknown unicasting. If you remember that in the packet I have source and destination MAC addresses, but switches don't have a MAC address in the destination. Sorry, destination MAC address in the MAC address table. What switches will do? Unknown. So if they flush their MAC address table at the same time, what will happen? What will happen? They will broadcast. So they are waiting for 15 seconds. They are giving time for STP to converge. Now there will be a question in your mind, sir, STP will converge after 30 seconds. Switches will delete their MAC address table after. Guys, just try to understand. This is my topology. This is my topology. That's why you are thinking it like this. If I change the topology, if the topology is like this, if this link goes down, try to understand. First of all, this switch will send message to the root bridge. Now root bridge will tell other switches that you have to delete your MAC address table after 15 seconds. It will also take time. It will also take. This thing is clear? This thing is clear? This thing is fine. Guys, just tell me one thing. This switch is sending BPDU after every. It means I can assume that this BPDU will take around 15 seconds to reach the 7th switch. Yes or no? Yes or no? So, this is the thing. If root bridge is generating a TCN BPDU, it will take around how much time? 15 seconds to reach the to reach the 7th switch. So, in 15 seconds, TCN will be flooded, and after 15 seconds, MAC address table will be deleted. This thing is clear? समझ में आया? मैंने क्या बोला? मैं TCN जनरेट कर रहा हूं. वो तो मेरी टोपोलॉजी वैसी थी कि तुम्हें लग रहा होगा सर 15 सेकंड तो वेस्ट हो रहे हैं, क्योंकि मेरी टोपोलॉजी कैसी थी? एक ट्रायंगल. रूट ब्रिज डायरेक्टली उसमें क्या जनरेट कर दे रहा था? रूट ब्रिज वाज डायरेक्टली जनरेटिंग द TCN. दैट्स व्हाई यू आर फीलिंग कि भाई मेरे 15 सेकंड तो क्या हो रहे हैं? वेस्ट. एग्री? बट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द कंसेप्ट ऑफ STP. STP is saying I will work in an environment. मैं कैसे environment में काम करूंगी? Where there will be 7 switches. Where there will be? This thing is clear? Now, when first switch will generate a TCN, it will reach up to 7th switch. How much time will it take? 15 seconds. Around 15 seconds. And after 15 seconds, they will flush there. In 30 seconds, topology will be converged and MAC address table will be flushed. So now, according to the new path, they can build their MAC address table. This thing is clear? So this is how things will happen in direct topology change. Now there will be a question in your mind, sir, what is indirect topology change? A link is going down. A link is going down. But the switch is not having a block port. The switch is not having a. How much time will it take? 50? You remember the second case we have discussed when we turn off this link. How much time topology took to converge? 50. It has to wait for. It has to wait for max age timer. Who has to wait? This guy. This thing is clear? So whenever BPDUs goes missing for a switch, what thing goes missing? BPDUs goes missing for a switch. Topology change will be. Topology change will be indirect. This thing is clear? See again. If I took this case, in this case, this link is directly going. This switch is directly turning this port from blocking to this thing. But when this link goes down, this switch is not having a block port. So it has to wait for max age timer because of this switch. This thing is clear? It means in case of indirect topology change, switches will experience loss of BPDUs. This thing is clear? Next thing, insignificant topology change. What do you mean by insignificant topology change? Just to make you understand PortFast, I have explained all these three things. Fine. So remember them. I will discuss more about them in CCNP. Fine. What are insignificant topology change? Guys, just tell me According to you, this is a problem or not? This is my scenario. Switch A, B, C. Any problem? Clear? Here we have users. Every time a user will turn on its computer, this link will come up, yes or no? Yes, this link will come up. By default, this port was in blocking state. Next thing, it will take around 30 seconds to move into forwarding state. Agree? It means user cannot access network for how much time? 30 seconds. Second thing, whenever a link or a port comes up or goes down on a switch, what switch will generate? Switch will generate TCN. Now just tell me, if this port is coming up, this switch is generating TCN. TCN will reach up to root bridge. What root bridge will do? Root bridge will send a TCN BPDU to all the switches in the topology saying, please delete your MAC address table after 15. Just tell me one thing, if this port is coming up, is there a change in topology which will affect my MAC address table? No. क्या ये change topology में मेरी MAC address table को change कर रहा है? Is it affecting my MAC address table? No. So what I want, that every time a user is connected, switch must not generate TCN. Agree or not? So what I will do, I will enable here PortFast. What I will enable here? So PortFast will protect me for two things. First of all, on the port on which I have enabled PortFast, switch will never generate TCN for that port. Second thing is, switch will directly move the port into forwarding state, because switch knows that on the other end no switch is connected. Who is connected? User. This thing is clear? What is the use of PortFast? That for that particular port on which PortFast is enabled, switch will never generate. And then second thing, yes, this thing is clear. Next thing, just think like this is my switch and here we have users. We have enabled what feature? Now guys, PortFast is enabled. It means, it doesn't mean that switch will not send BPDU on this port. Agree or not? Switch will send. Because when I start with STP, I told you in the beginning that switches will forward BPDUs from access ports and this thing is clear. It means BPDUs are always forwarded from access ports. Agree? Now someone is going to attack in my network. What is going to do? He is connected a switch here. His switch will send me a BPDU. There will be a election. Agree or not? Agree? To protect my topology from these types of attack, what I can do, I can configure this port, or I can configure BPDU guard on this port. What will happen if this switch port still receives a BPDU? If BPDU guard is enabled on the port and switch is still receiving the BPDU, what switch will do? Switch will move its port into error disabled state. Switch will move its port into. What do you mean by this thing? That this port is no more in working state. This port is no more in working state. This thing is clear? This thing is clear? After 300 seconds, after port will be recovered. Port will be, switch will assume that there will be no, the problem is existing no more. The problem is existing no more. Now switch turn on its port again. But if it will again receive the BPDU, it will again move it to error disable. It means when a port is moved to error disabled state, there is a mechanism of automatic recovery also. What is the mechanism? After 300 seconds. switch is checking the problem is resolved or not. This thing is clear. So these are the two features. Fine. सेंड करेगा, रिसीव नहीं करेगा. सेंड करना भी रोकना तो CCNP में बताऊंगा सेंड करना कैसे रोकना है. सेंड करना भी रोक सकते हैं. ठीक है जी. हाँ भाई शुभम, क्या हुआ? बोल, तेज बोलो. एसी बंद कर दो यार. गर्मी लग रही है आपको? भाई तो गर्मी तो नहीं लग रही? लग रही है तो आगे आगे बैठ जा. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज बहुत आसान है, सिंपलेस्ट टॉपिक, और यू कैन कॉल इट एज if in network bulls I provide you internet like this. Guys, this is your switch and these are the LAN wires connected to the switch. You can connect your computer and you can use the network. You can use network. Using network means you can access internet. Fine. So what you people will be doing? You will be connecting your computer here. Someone will be connecting his computer here. But if I talk about a company, in a company you cannot use your computer. You have to use their computer. Agree? It means in a company, if this is company's computer, it must be having a, and they must be knowing about their own MAC addresses. Agree? Now, if I say on this port, instead of connecting company's computer, you have connected your own computer. And if you try to access your internet, access the internet, if there is no security on this port, you will be able to access the internet. Yes or no? It means what I will be doing now, I will be defining security on this port. Now, first of all, I will define on this particular port how many maximum MAC addresses a switch can learn. First thing is how many maximum MAC addresses switch port can learn on this particular port. Second thing, which MAC addresses will be allowed. Third thing is, if someone is violating the rules, someone is what violation you have to take. This thing is clear. So in port security there are how many steps? 3. First is, second is, third is violation. Okay. First is defining a maximum value. Let's say I am defining maximum value as 2. Second is how switch will get to know. Either I can define it as or dynamically. Dynamically means from, statically means you are defining the MAC address statically. Third thing is violation. Violation is by default what is shutdown? If an unauthorized user is hitting the port, the switch will turn off its port. Fine. Second, what do you mean by protect? Protect means I will never allow unauthorized user, I will always allow authorized user. The user with the correct MAC address is allowed, the user with incorrect MAC address is blocked. Third thing, what is restrict? Restrict is working same as protect, that the user with incorrect MAC addresses, the user with correct MAC addresses allowed. But in case of restrict, switch will generate a Switch will generate a log. What kind of log? Yes, which MAC address is creating the violation? Which MAC address is creating the? So the network administrator will get to know that this is the MAC address who is creating the violation. So he or she can find out who is that idiot. This thing is clear? Fine. Port security. Finish. We will do the practical. I will show you. Any problem? आप इसको मैक एड्रेस बाइंडिंग भी बोल सकते हैं. ठीक है जी. हर स्विच पे मिलेगा ये फीचर आपको. हैं? किसने कहा है आपको? यहाँ कोई पोर्ट सिक्योरिटी नहीं लगी हुई. यहाँ पे मैंने अपने वाईफाई को हाइड किया हुआ है. जो जिस वाईफाई से मैं कनेक्टेड हूँ वो आपको दिख ही नहीं रहा. वो पोर्ट सिक्योरिटी नहीं है, वो मैक एड्रेस बाइंडिंग नहीं है. ठीक है जी. ये रहा नेटवर्क का नाम. ये रही. पासवर्ड भी बताऊं? पासवर्ड है UR32@helpless. रिकॉर्ड हो गया. कल खोल के देखना. पासवर्ड बता दूं. Now we have to discuss about inter. Guys, what is inter-VLAN routing? How to different VLANs will communicate. How they communicate? How? Yes, with the help of a. See, one VLAN means one broadcast domain. One broadcast. When different broadcast domains have to communicate, they will use a layer 3 device. They will use. What is that layer 3 device? That layer 3 device can be a multi-layer switch also. It can be a router also and it can be a. So if we are performing inter-VLAN routing with the help of router, that particular scenario is called router on a stack. Router on a. So there will be a question in your mind, sir. Till now we have heard about ice cream on a. VLAN 10 want to communicate with VLAN 20. Fine. VLAN 10 will send the data to the router. Now router will reply. How the switch will get to know that data belongs to VLAN 20? Because router will never put a tag. Agree? It means in this case, I have to define VLAN, or you can say on router also. What is the need of that .1q encapsulation? Look here, you will get it. Let's say I am making communication possible between VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. So in this case, how many sub interface I have to create? 2. One I am creating 0/0.10. Second is 0/0. I am using number 10 and 20 here because it is easy to understand. You can create sub interface with any number. This thing is clear? Now, when from here, look here, 10 will send traffic. Traffic will reach which port? Trunk port. Trunk pole will tag the traffic with which VLAN? 10. It means I have to define this interface or encapsulation of this interface of VLAN 10 and on this interface of VLAN 20. Whenever router will receive it, router will remove the tag. Router will check destination IP. Now router will get to know that destination network is connected to my sub interface FA0/0.20. Which tag I have to put? VLAN 20. Router will put the tag of VLAN 20. It will be received by switch. It will be received by switch. Switch will check to which VLAN it belongs to. 20. Send the traffic to VLAN. Guys, just tell me one thing. For router physical interfaces, you are dividing it logically. You are dividing it. It means in actual, to one physical interface, multiple networks are connected. Agree or not? And why router is defining encapsulation on them? To differentiate them. If there is no encapsulation, router will never differentiate them. Because physical path is still the same. Physical path is still the same. This thing is clear? So, in case of inter-VLAN routing or router on a stick, what router has to do? We have to define encapsulation on the router. So router can perform routing as well as router can swap tags. Router can swap tags. This thing is clear? This thing is fine. किसी को ना समझ में आया तो बोलो. आ गया? मतलब अलग अलग आईपी भी होगा, क्यों नहीं होगा? हर एक नेटवर्क के लिए, for every network gateway will be different. So why I am creating sub interfaces? To define different IPs and to assign those interfaces to different VLANs. This thing is clear? Okay. Second way is multi-layer switching. This is the sign to represent a multi-layer switch. Fine. 10, 10, 10, 20, 20, 20. I have 6 users, 3 are in VLAN 10, 3 are in VLAN 20. By default, 10 can communicate with 10, 20 can communicate with 20 with the help of MAC address table. Now, first thing that you will do on this multi-layer switches, you will enable routing by the command IP routing. Now guys, what will happen? All of you know about SVI, agree? Now, if on a multi-layer switch I create a SVI, let's say I am creating SVI for VLAN 10. What I am creating? SVI for VLAN? For all the users which are in VLAN 10, SVI will act as a gateway. SVI will act as a? If I create SVI for VLAN 20 also, For all the users who are in VLAN 20, SPI will act as a gateway. Now, multi-layer switch is having how many gateways? 2. Routing is enabled. Same case, a router is having 2 interfaces. One is connected to network A, one is connected to network B. Router knows about how many gateways? 2. How many? And routing is enabled. What router can perform? Routing. Router can switch packets from one network to. In the similar way, multi-layer switch is having how many SPIs? 2. And multi-layer switch will consider these SPIs as directly connected network. Will consider these SPI as? Okay. Let's say for VLAN 10 and for VLAN 20. Look here. Process will be very simple. (10.0.0.0/8) is directly connected network for VLAN 10. 20.0.0.0/8 is directly connected network for VLAN 20. Any problem? You have created how many SPIs? One for VLAN 10, one for VLAN 20. To these users, what will be the gateway? IP address of SPI. IP address of? Now look here. Just think like this 10.1 want to communicate with this 20.1 and gateway is 10.2. It means SPI IP address for VLAN 10 is 10.2 and SPI interface IP address for VLAN 20 is 20.2. What will happen? It will send traffic to its gateway. Now 10.2 will receive the traffic. It means SPI for VLAN 10 will receive the traffic. Now it will check its routing table. Yes, I know about destination network. Destination network is connected to VLAN 20. Switch already knows which ports belong to VLAN 20. If switch knows about the destination MAC address, it's fine. Where it will check about destination MAC address? In ARP table. If it is able to find out destination MAC address in the ARP table, it's fine. Otherwise, it will generate a ARP. From which ports ARP will go out? The ports which are member of VLAN 20. The ports which are member of VLAN 20. This thing is very simple, clear. This thing is done. So this is how inter-VLAN routing takes place on a multi-layer switch. Any problem, Sagar? It's easy. Instead of sending ARP only from one port, now this device is sending ARP from multiple ports. This is the only difference. This thing is clear? Okay. First practical is of guys, look here fastly. You can see here by default ports are taking some time. Light is still orange. This is actually green color. Now they turn to green. They are taking some time. No. Now look here. इंटरफेस FA, स्पैनिंग ट्री ना हो, लुक हियर यार, शिट हो गया ये भी। तूने लगाई तो पढ़ा जा रहा है, पढ़ो। पढ़ा जा रहा है।